Ipinta ang mga salita, tulain ang indak, sumayaw sa himig, awitin ang diwa. Dati Akong Paraluman. Ang programa ukol sa mga ulat sa komunidad ng sining at kultura. Magtanong, magbungkahi, at makibahagi. Dito lamang sa Dati Akong Paraluman. Tuwing Lunes, alas 3 ng hapon. Dati Akong Paraluman. Sa Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM.
Magandang hapon po mga taga-pakinig. Ito po ang pangalawang episode ng Dati Akong Paraluman. This is Jay Gomez, your host. Magandang araw sa iyo, Justin. Salamat, tinutulungan mo ako dito. Okay, let me start off by saying this statement, no? In every production, every success of every production, there is person behind, no? Meron po tayong mga tagapagtanghal, sila yung umaani ng mga palakpak natin, but behind every success of production is a very able production manager, and we'd like to discuss that thoroughly for this afternoon. No? So we're very pleased to have with us. Allow me to read from my phone. No? Yung mga nagmamount ng mga productions, whether maliit o malaking scale, I hope you're tuned into Radyo Katipunan 87.9 or Facebook live streaming, because we have with us this afternoon isang batikang sorry, I'm trying to look for production manager who will walk us through in every stage in mounting a production. No? Kailangan malaman natin yung mga proseso nito, do's and don'ts, based on experience. She will share with us how to go about coming up with big scale productions. No? Lalo dito sa JESCOM, we always come up with, Justin, you agree? We always come up with concerts close to concept of a variety show, musicals. So, sorry, hindi ko mahanap yun. Pinadala ko sa iyo, Jus. Here. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, let me read her profile first. No, she is a graduate of De La Salle College of St. Benilde, majoring in technical theater, Bachelor of Arts, technical theater from St. Benilde. She was production and company manager of Ballet Philippines from its 40th to 48th season. That's 8 years. She managed all the season productions held at the Cultural Center of the Philippines. So lahat po, karamihan po ng mga resident companies ng Cultural Center of the Philippines, she's a most sought after go-to person in terms of production management. That they mount local and international performances. She organized and managed Ballet Philippines masterpieces, one of the company's well-toured production that was performed in United States of America, Canada, Middle East, China, and Southeast Asia. Only last year, she also handled the Fo Guang Shan Foundation musical production of Prince. How do you say this? Prince Siddhartha, which premiered at the Theater at Soler, sorry, and was performed in several states in North America. Most recently, she succeeded Sama-Sama ASEAN and CCP Sinag. CCP Sinag is the Lights and Sound Show. Correct me if I'm wrong. Lights and Sound Show Festival of Radiance and Ballet Philippines 50th Anniversary Gala. Na ang concept is medyo fashion show. No? She also put together sceneries. Mamaya, I'd like to ask you to elaborate on sceneries and designed costumes for Ballet Philippines Dance School recitals, and was a set designer for Cultural Center of the Philippines Virgin Love Fest. Marami naman po sa ating familiar with the Virgin Love Fest. This is the Pocket Productions, theatrical productions. And currently, she's a faculty at Guangming College, teaching management and production methods. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Allie Eguia. Good afternoon, Allie. Hi, Allie. Allie, okay. I find this guesting very relevant to what we do here at ZESCOM. At sana may mga nakikinig pa na maski outside ZESCOM, no? Because gaya nga nung naging introduction ko kanina, in every successful production, behind it is efficient machinery of people, no? Na behind the scenes lagi ang role nila, and wala akong iba talagang may isip na unang tao kundi ikaw, because I've seen you get your hands dirty really on major productions, and I know how thorough your work, and you earned that reputation, no, sa mundo natin. So please walk us through in this kind of in this area of specialization. Paano bang una you are a
production manager.
Yes. No? Sige, please elaborate on this.
Well, my longest career as production manager started with Ballet Philippines. It's a resident company of the Cultural Center of the Philippines, and being I'm an in-house production manager. Somewhat an in-house production manager differ from yung production manager na per production, kasi pag in-house production manager ka, you basically takes care of the company whole year round. Unlike kapag per production, your only concern is the recent production that's ongoing. So you start from if you're per production, you start from the conceptualizing up to the end of the show, and then turnovers, and then that's it. While being an in-house with Ballet Philippines for the whole 9 years, it's not just the CCP productions, but it's also the package shows, the move-over performances, the mall shows, the tours, and everything. So basically, to give everyone a walkthrough of how productions are being made or conceptualized, after, of course, it starts with the artistic director. Of course, the director will conceptualize the season, yung kung ilang productions meron sa isang taon na gagawin ng company. So when his concept is approved by the board, or kung sino man yung dapat mag-approve, and then of course he will work hand in hand with the production manager, because the production manager prepares the budget and the schedule.
This is where you instantly come in. Pag
yes.
Ikaw ang unang itatap ng artistic director.
Yes.
Okay.
Kasi of course, once you have conceptualized, once you have a concept, kailangan yung feasibility niya mai-present mo eh. It needs to be approved. Kasi of course, you need to do the budget first. Dito sa atin, yun yung first concern eh. Kasi Filipinos are very creative. Ang gaganda ng ideas natin. Pero syempre, we want to work on something na feasible and yung maa-afford. Kasi, syempre, if you have a very creative and very extravagant idea and then your budget is short, magmumukhang trying hard yung production and we don't want that. So as that early part of conceptualizing, someone should be doing the budgeting already. Or at least someone to like help push and project how much is the cost of the production so that the board or someone who's gonna work to raise fund will have an idea on how much they need to raise.
Ikaw dun papasok.
Just the budgeting.
Canvas.
Yeah, the canvassing is parang
The people to tap, how about that?
yeah, the people to tap, of course, usually the directors have an idea in mind of who the collaborators will be, like if it's a musical or dance production, who the choreographers will be, who will be the guest performers, who will be the lighting designers, and other artistic collaborators.
Okay, I'm sorry. In line of education, gusto ko lang idahan-dahanin yung proseso.
Okay.
No? So, una, nabanggit mo na after the concept, no?
Yes.
The artistic director comes up with a concept, and the first stage is coming up with a budget, a doable budget, just to make it sustainable.
Yes.
Siguraduhin masimulan at feasible at matapos ma-execute talaga yung idea ng director.
Yes.
No? So, budgeting is the first stage.
Yes, budgeting and then schedule.
And schedules. Okay.
Of course. And then it's if the director usually suggests or give the names of the people whom he want to collaborate with. So usually I do call them, write them, or I check their availability and willingness to do the project. And then it starts from there. Once they said yes, we start to communicate and see to it that naka-schedule siya.
And if I may add, I like to personally attest na marami na rin akong nakitang productions na iniisip lang yung budget somewhere in the middle of during the development of the whole project. Tapos nagkakaroon ng it gets stuck up kasi hindi ina-analyze kung magkano talagang allotted na pera for this area or ano. So I'd like to reiterate on that. Yung order ng preparation. Please continue, Ali.
Yes, kasi kapag yung as you've mentioned dun sa when it terms na nasa stock up because hindi na project yung budget, well, a lot of things happen. So I think one trait ng production manager as well as is to help the management parang kung if something is expanding in terms of cost, dapat may idea din siya kung saan pwedeng kumuha or kung saan makakasave.
Not necessarily going overboard, but expanding to improve
if the cost on some factor is expanding, like for example, hindi na project na of course yung pagtaas ng presyo ng mga materyales, you need to find a way wherein you can save on some.
Okay.
Yeah, that's wherein.
And that's your call as a production manager?
Yes, I believe so.
Ikaw
yes.
mag-overview nun.
Kasi I mean, as a production, practicing this for the longest time, for more or less a decade, I try to make sure that I never go over budget.
Well, that's good news for the producer always,
Yes.
di ba? Oo.
Yes.
And without compromising the quality.
Of course.
Hindi
Yes,
na
because we don't
usapin
want
yun.
that to happen. If at the early stage you can see that medyo extravagant or medyo malaki yung cost ng production, of course you will ask the management and the director, or you will inform them that this is how much it's gonna cost. So if ever the producer cannot fund it or cannot raise that amount of money, of course, artistically, they need to adjust a little, but parang not lessening the quality, but making it simpler. Ganon.
Sa mga taga-pakinig po, pwede kayong magtanong through leaving a comment dun sa comment section ng Facebook Live streaming natin. We have in the studio Miss Allie Eguia, a seasoned production manager for several cultural events and in-house company, what do you call it?
Production and company manager. Yeah.
Meron po tayong meron ba? Okay. Sige. So, in line of education, I like to always lead back towards that, no? So, after that stage of budgeting.
So after budgeting and schedule, of course, the artistic side of the production starts with their rehearsals, mountings, and things like that. While
Schedules.
of course, the schedule that's always subject to change. Yeah. But on the side of the production department itself, that's when we start communicating, getting suppliers. Like if most of the time kasi venue is given. But of course, if venue is not given, it needs to be pre-arranged. So, kasi gagamitin yun in terms of marketing, di ba? To announce, for announcements and, of course, sa publicity materials. So, we start communicating and getting canvas suppliers, for example, lights and sounds and other.
So nililinaw ko lang, pasok pa to sa area of concern mo, no? Talagang you're talking here.
Yes, we're the one who. Siyempre, of course, the light.
Ideally, ba you have a team or you try to go about this?
Ideally, in a very ideal world.
Okay.
Maganda and masaya kung may team ka. Like, very grateful enough if I have an assistant production manager.
Okay.
But most of the time,
Hindi pasok mo sa budgeting.
Depende din. Yeah.
Sige.
Kasi maganda kung may assistant production manager, but in yung fast-paced setting kasi, yung transmission ng data medyo makes it confusing. So, I try to taper it na ako na lang.
Solohin mo na lang.
Solohin ko na lang. Medyo,
sa'yo lang umiikot yung data.
And then, kasi you have your stage manager. You have your SM team naman, stage manager's team, and then you have different department. You have you usually have the costume, the set people, the theater crew. So just make sure that you check on them from time to time, and then get updates para nakikita mo yung progress.
Okay. Sa mga nakikinig, try to take down notes, no? Kasi alam ko in mounting productions, we tend to play it by ear. Na minsan kaya natin, minsan hindi. But it's good to listen to people like Miss Allie Eguia, veteran and seasoned production manager ng mga malalaking production, because we can avoid mistakes along the way. And dito, sabi ko nga dito sa Jesuit Communications, we always come up with large scale productions. And dahil ito ay bahay or resident production house ng maraming choir, ng maraming musiko, maraming TV productions, no? So we'd like to learn and hear from the seasoned people in the industry. Okay, Miss Allie, we were able to identify so far budgeting
scheduling.
Ito yung mga bagay na no-overlook natin. I'm not saying na naging pabaya tayo, pero kung wala ring nag-lead sa atin or we don't get ideas or tips from those who really do it professionally, pwede tayong maligaw somewhere along the way, and that's why we have Ali here with us this afternoon. Okay? So
there, picking up, so kasi kapag nagsischedule ka, you work on it backwards.
Please elaborate on that.
Working sa schedule backwards, of course, you set, of course, your performance date or your event date.
Okay,
and then para ma-identify mo what happens before, so you can set proper deadlines. So, of course, if you have your performance date set, your production week is set already. So, from before that, you can set your deadline. So when you will have your costume run, when you can set a deadline for all your costumes to be done, your set to be done, when will be your setup, when will be the delivery of all the requirements needed for the production.
Yeah, it's starting to make sense now. Of course, yung end product ang we're trying to picture for now, no?
Yes.
Okay, sige.
And then kapag ka ganon, you set leeways of per weeks or several days para ma-set yung deadline. And then what you do is na meron kang leeway, it's easy to adjust but at least may guide ka na. I mean,
yes.
yeah. And then in terms of course, dun ka na medyo mag-multitask because you as production manager, you need to check, sabay-sabay kasing ginagawa yung set, sabay-sabay ginagawa yung costume, sabay-sabay.
And you're on top of this. Of
Yes.
course, may designer.
Yes, of course.
And you coordinate with that person.
Those are the artistic collaborators.
Yes, okay.
The production designer, set, costume designer, musical director, and other na natap mo na prior to before the ideally before the rehearsal begins.
Yes, and the general idea is that you make sure they all sync in
Yes.
terms of schedule.
Yes.
That they deliver on particular
time.
dates.
Yes. They submit their deadlines. All their designs is approved. May it be costume set, music, everything should be approved before rehearsal. Ideally. Yes, para while the material or while if it's a dance, if it's theater, while the material is being rehearsed with the director and the performers, your supplementary like the costumes, the set is being fabricated and then they'll see each other towards the production week. Alam mo yun, sabay natatapos yung rehearsal, nabubuo yung play or nabubuo yung dance, nabubuo din yung costume, yung set, and then they meet at a certain day wherein you can have your dress technical rehearsal.
Na lahat ng elements nandun.
Yeah, and then pagdating nyo sa
It's
theater,
only expected na lahat nag-deliver.
yes, of course. Tsaka yung designs and of course kung costume siya, kung set siya, it's rendered, may kulay. So that the lighting designer, even if he'll step in towards the production week na, kasi of course, he cannot work without his lights, his fixtures, may idea na kung anong mga kulay ang makikita niya sa entablado. And of course, you need to coordinate with him or with her to go and attend rehearsal, so he will have an idea of the blocking para magawa na niya yung lighting design and plottings niya. Ganon.
So, yung mga nakikinig, sa tingin ko, we're basing our discussion on
Theater setup.
sorry?
Theater setup.
Theater setup. Tsaka malaking scale ng production. No? I know we do smaller mounting of production like this. Pero take this as a template, no? Ma-apply din natin sa mas maliliit na pagtatanghal o yung buong preparation.
There.
Nasa na tayo? Okay. Na technical run.
Yeah.
Na kumpleto na natin yung lahat ng mga elemento.
Yes. So once we have a technical run, basically the production is complete. Parang ready to go na siya for the performance.
So linisan
na siya.
Artistic na delivery.
So, as a production manager, once na nakapag-dress technical rehearsal ka na, medyo maluwag na yung pakiramdam mo. Kasi basically, it's photo finish already.
Oo, pero nakaabang yan, di ba?
Pero nakaabang ka kasi, of course, things happens.
You wait in the wing, baka...
Yeah.
I understand your experience is heavy on dance production, like ballet, no?
Yes.
So,
but of course, I venture also outside now, especially now that I'm not with, I'm not in-house anymore.
Yes. You're contractual. I mean,
freelance.
Freelance ka na sa.
So, but basically, I do some corporate management, but I guess because masyado akong na-in-love sa CCP. Cultural, yeah. I just recently concluded 2 to CCP Productions. Kasi parang
Pag nag-mount pa naman ng CCP.
Yeah, medyo magkaiba kasi ng konti yung disiplina kapag ka it's corporate.
Sige,
Which
could you
is
kindly compare?
okay. So kasi when I address corporate, this is of course the corporate events like may mga launch ng products or some awards night and things like that, compared to what we do at the cultural center, which is more focused on performing arts. I mean, not that I'm saying na walang art or it's not performing arts in what they do. It's just that
For different
kapag ka corporate, of course, masyadong it's in a haste. It's in a haste. In concept, matagal yung preparation, pero it's done in a haste because you don't have the luxury of rehearsing things like more than a week.
Is that because they don't put attention to
It's not
detail? And then, of course they do. They always want a good
yes,
show.
they present like comparing them, actually mas intricate minsan and mas elaborate yung deck in terms of corporate kasi the events company are presenting it to the client as if this is what you'll see. Parang ganon. It's parang step by step it's presented. But the preparation for it is mostly kasi they're not in the theater for a long time or in their venue. They're not gonna be there. They're just gonna be there like a day before or two. It depends on how big the event is. So it's everything. The program is done in a haste.
But just the same, they tap the same order of
Yes.
of people. The artistic director. Do they?
Yeah, they have an
sila na
event
yun?
director. They have an event
Okay.
director. And then usually parang, let's say for example, if the event will go parang an example of an event. For example, it's a launch. So this is the product, and then we have performers who will launch this. They're done in packet rehearsals and not exactly on the venue.
Okay.
So they meet at the venue and then rehearse it in one rehearsals and then go. It's an event date. Kasi of course, the venue entails cost. So, syempre, if the venue entails
pag corporate,
cost,
lagi silang naghahanap paano maka-cut down expenses. Diba?
and the venue is one of the the most expensive part of it. Kasi you pay it per day or sometimes per hour. The extra ingress hours cost a few hundred of thousands and it depends on the venue. Unlike when you're at...
Alam mo, could we share yung term na egress saka ingress? Nagulat ako. Hindi naman sa pero hindi pala lahat maalam sa term na yun.
Okay.
I didn't expect that na dapat alam ng lahat. So, we'd like to share it.
So basically, ingress is the time that you moved in. You load in everything in preparation for your setup.
Sa
venue. Yes. And then egress is when you strike out and then you move everything back to
At
its...
dapat parang systematic, no?
Yeah.
Kasi may binabayaran, pumapatak ang metro.
Oo, yeah. Even the ingress and the egress schedule falls on the hand of the technical director and the production manager. Kasi of course, the technical director will be the one to direct the setup. So dapat kung ano yung pinakaunang ilalatag, ipaplano ng technical director because not all production managers are technical directors.
So nililinaw po natin while there is a production manager, meron ding mga nakatalagang tao na assigned sa bawat area of concern. Like there's a light director, there is
the
artistic director.
May artistic director tayo.
Costumes,
we have lights, set, costume, we have technical director, we have stage managers, we have theater crews or technical crews. And the
So
like.
nakikita nyo, paano tatahin ng isang production manager ang lahat ng
ang production manager is
personalities.
Ang production manager is tagatuhog lang. It's of course along the way we learn a few tricks from each and every one. So sometimes and it help us parang do some tricks. Yeah. It help us troubleshoot kapag in absence or kung late yung tao tao na concern, we can just call, and then of course laging call yun ng production manager. If it's not the producer, it's the production manager. Kasi in any other way, kami yung magde-defend ng actions namin at kung anong nangyayari in preparation for the production or the event. Kami yung magde-depend sa director at sa producer.
So Ali, napakagandang opportunity na gawing panawagan, no? Kasi lahat ngayon parang gusto maging performer, wala masama doon.
Yes.
No? Kung nandun talaga yung excellence natin, maging designer, everyone wants to be in the artistic area.
Yes.
Pero magandang panawagan to na baka you might want to explore on the technical side. And Ali, sa namin anong mga may mga universities ba nag-offer ng mga itong courses or workshops available?
Yeah, there are actually wala na from my end. I'm a graduate of technical theater, and the course doesn't exist anymore from my from my school. So
Does not exist anymore.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's now incorporated to theater arts.
Oh, okay.
So basically, but there are a lot of schools that offer.
Parang subject na to under theater
Yes.
arts. Okay.
Yes.
Na thorough, of course.
Yes, kasi before from where I graduated from my course, we're very much focused on just the technical part.
Walang acting.
Minimal. As in,
Okay.
we don't have
But you
acting
had.
classes.
Oh, okay.
We don't have acting subjects. It's just that we sometimes act if we need to produce a play, and we don't, and all our friends are busy
But
to
you're
act for us.
graded on not on your acting but on mounting.
Somewhat,
Parang
yes.
ganun.
Somewhat, yes.
Okay, sige.
But there's a lot of universities that offer theater arts, arts management, and any performing arts courses.
And they can just research on
Yeah.
on the internet.
I mean, even in the province, they have a lot of performing arts schools arising here and there. Even, not just in Metro Manila, but we have in Northern Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao.
Pero posible bang masupply, of course not in one go, no, but the knowledge, workshops alone or
Yes.
seminars,
I mean,
no?
We have, pwede bang mag-mention ng institutions?
Oo naman.
Yeah.
Are these being offered?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's annually being offered at the CCP, especially during the summer season.
CCP, Cultural Center of the Philippines.
At the Cultural Center of the Philippines. Basically, they have the arts education department wherein they provide workshops, and also Tanghalang Filipino. They provide workshops on production and stage management. And PETA also does it, and there are young blood of these are the young blood of NGOs like Para sa Sining. It just started, and
bago-bago.
yeah, I see their posts. They're holding workshops on different discipline in performing arts and theater. They offer like production manager, yung mga talks from production managers, stage managers, short workshops on digital arts and different discipline.
Pero hindi naman prerogative ba yung skill ng theater? We're talking about technical, di ba? Performance.
Hindi
Kasi
naman.
when you took it up sa Saint Benilde,
Yeah.
it stood there for a while without the
Yeah, when I took it
acting
up at
skills,
Saint Benilde, I really wanted to light. I wanted to be a lighting designer.
Sige,
yeah,
sige.
I never visualized myself to be a production manager. But of course,
Hagip ba yun sa curriculum?
yeah, kasama siya. There's like a production and stage management course, but it's basically just run through like a few semesters, a few subjects that touch it. But I believe it's a calling kasi if everyone does lighting, if everyone does stage management, someone needs to do production management. And then it's I won't say that it started na it's not a choice, but it's somewhat it developed. Kasi parang if if you kasi ako nagtry akong mag-light, nagtry akong mag-costume. I did snippets of it. So when I was given a chance and I was offered a position to be a production manager, medyo mahirap siya, but nakatulong yung different disciplines. So, especially siguro kasi when I did it with Ballet Philippines, I have background in ballet. I did ballet when I was younger. So, you somewhat understand the side of the performers. It's best din kasi dahil kami yung nagtutuhog sa bawat aspeto ng produksyon, di ba, mas nakakatulong para sa amin yung naiintindihan namin, and at least may konting background kami ng mga taong kinakausap namin or people whom we deal with.
Kaya naman may ready platform, no? After probably your course, no? Nasalang ka agad sa apoy eh. Ibig sabihin, cultural center agad ang pinasok mo kasi.
Yes.
Alam naman natin paano sila gaano kadetalyado ang
And then, ayun nga, yung sinasabi ko, kasi now I'm teaching. Kasi parang feeling ko...
You're again faculty at...
I'm a faculty at Guangming College. It's bagong school siya, funded by the Fo Guangtian Foundation. It's situated in Vito Cruz, Manila, and it will be transferred to Tagaytay in a year or two. So, it's a performing arts school. And I'm teaching production methods and arts management subjects as an elective, and yung iba is prerequisites sa iba nilang theater arts subject. So, what I'm saying is, yun nga, madaming performing arts school that are arising. Madaming kumukuha ng courses in theater and dance. But, let's accept the fact na not all will be performers.
I agree with that.
Yes. And then, I mean, they can be teachers and ano. So parang, a step at a time, sana may mag-pursue ng career backstage. Kasi it's...
Medyo afterthought ba yung ano na to? Itong career option na to?
Hindi naman. Kasi of course, when you opted to enroll to a performing art course, di ba parang kasi gusto mong mag-perform. But not everyone will be...
Siyempre, biro lang. Pero ibig sabihin, it presents its own challenges.
Yeah.
Yung kanya-kanyang...
kanya-kanya. Kasi parang, like, I have students na she's very good in dancing. But kasi syempre, 'di ba, in a classroom situation, not because you're a dance major and you always need to produce a dance performance at the end of the term. But not everyone will have a chance to dance at the same time kasi one needs to direct, one needs to choreograph, one needs to provide costume, and so on and so forth.
But syempre, I'd like to correct myself on that. Nagbibiro lang ako. But it's not an afterthought. Alam nyo, para sa mga nagtatanghal, para sila makapagtanghal with full concentration, nothing to worry about, kailangan nakalapat lahat ng elements, no? So, magandang ilaw, make sure na it has to be made sure na kita nila lahat ng espasyo sa entablado, tamang gawa ng costumes para hindi sagabal sa pagtatanghal, whether singing, whether dancing, maraming elemento eh. So, pasukin mo yung isa, inevitably, makikita mo yung issue sa ibang areas. And it's artistic issues and ano ba? Parang progressive issues. Matututunan mo na hindi mo maiwasang matutunan ang iba-ibang areas, ang iba-ibang concerns ng isang production. And under production management, it's practically overseeing the flow or the development of towards the ideal output.
Yes.
Diba?
It's something if you're taking performing arts, it's a position wherein you'll learn to discover and you'll learn kung paano gawin, and then eventually if you have the passion for it, taking care of the production, it's parang if you're not really after the
Passion
limelight,
pa rin. Papasok pa rin lagi usaping passion.
it's always passion for performance.
I can imagine, ang isang nag-iilaw, siguro committed siya na i-highlight ang isang napakagandang galaw o isang scene, no? Sa
Yes.
entablado, and that's where he pours in, no? His all his ability, no?
Yes.
Ito, i-highlight ko to. Ilaw lang gagamitin pero sisigaw tong eksena na to because of this. So, I can relate to how a lighting director would process his thoughts towards
Yes. With production managers naman, it's making sure that everyone is highlighted, from the costumes, the set, the performers themselves, the light. So parang
walang nasasapawan.
Pantay-pantay. Kasi like for example, when I was with Ballet Philippines, even kasi diba we have award giving bodies that gives awards to different productions. So alam mo yun, ma-include lang sa nominees, or at least or if a production that I've handled received an award, it's an award for me also. Sobrang nakakatawa, nakaka-proud kasi at least your job, though it's not directly my performance, was awarded and was recognized. Yun.
May award giving body for this? Yeah.
No, it's yung local Tonys, local.
Okay.
Yeah. Phil Stage Gawad Buhay.
Sinadya ko po na magkasunod na episode, production management for this Monday. Next week, sa sounds, no? We have an expert in terms of documenting music or audio, documenting audio, different from being inside the studio at saka being at the venue, no? So mas maraming diskarte ang kailangan kasi the place is not always ideal, unlike in a studio. Selyadong-selyado, walang pumapasok na ingay, ideally ganun, no? So we have our guest for next week is a sound engineer sa venue, no? He designs how to capture all live concerts. So pasok na pasok din sa mga ginagawa natin dito, no? Alam ko sa college you come up with maski sa mga subject nyo lang, di ba? You come up with small productions. And then, if you choose to lead a career towards there, papasok kayo sa malalaking production outfits. And I hope this is helping you. May mga... Salamat, Father Nono Alfonso, the Director of Jesuit Communications Foundation. Gusto ko nga sanang imungkahin na magkaroon tayo ng short course with Allie Eguia. No, he's learning a lot from listening right now.
Thank you.
Mga 3 kwarto yung layo niya dito. No? Hi Julius. Si Julius is becoming a technical person for this foundation, no? So salamat nakikinig ka kasi kung anong matututunan nun magagamit natin, and it's not like you're already helping this, no? So salamat Julius. Isang concern, although may discussion to na medyo profound next week na yung sounds, you deal with that.
Yes.
Pero of course
Of course you get a sound engineer and a musical director. Yeah.
Ayan, nakakasira talaga yan kapag yan pumalso.
Yes.
Totoo lang.
Kasi number one,
visually, lahat ng ganda niyan
mawawala.
Pag nasira ang mic, nag-feedback.
Number one is to for me as parang in the events that I've handled and the productions that I was doing, number one to check kasi minsan naman usually if it's inside the theater you have sound crew. But basically, I need to check. Kasi syempre may knowledge din kasi ako eh. May konting stock knowledge ako from school. You need to check if the venue has the proper equipments or sufficient at least.
And if there's none, it's not like mag-iiba kayo ng venue.
Yeah, hindi kami lilipat ng
Adjust
venue.
kayo.
That's where your technical director will come in. He will be kung kaya niyang gawin, usually kasi technical directors can. But of course, if kailangan niyang sabihin if I need to get a sound engineer. And then if it's advice, I need to put in a sound engineer to give me the specifications of the equipments that I need to rent out, and then para kasi usually most of the time medyo nasa-sacrifice siya. But recently, medyo madami na I guess na nagde-develop ng liking to be a sound engineer. So
because independent courses are being
yes,
offered.
it's being offered and madami na. I mean, we used to have like
dati subject lang din yan.
yeah, I had one of those subjects.
Yes.
Usually, kasi before parang I've been playing with like a few names lang, and now I see them, especially like if there's like Virgin Love Fest. I mean, my teacher from my batchmate who is sound engineer to my batchmate who is sound engineer, they're both teaching and now they have their mga interns and staff who are students, and this becoming one by one, parang from time to time nakikita ko sila, and then they're doing projects on their own as sound engineer. So at least ngayon they're aware how important sound is.
So production management, short of saying, this is a specialization in itself, no? Kung efficient ang machinery na to, less chances of trouble sa labas. And then ultimately we come up with a great show, no? With a almost flawless or perfect show, which is medyo lagi namang may nami-meet tayong challenges along the way. And I myself, coming from the performing arts, I can't help but be grateful kapag maayos ang technical aspects ng mga palabas, because I can focus. I don't have to worry about good sound, hindi lang yung sa mga malalapit na audience, but kung mga nakakarinig sa akin sa mga malalaking tablado. Dito marami kami dito. This is Jesuit Music Ministry, no? We love coming up with that's how we reach people other than the audio recordings. That's how we reach out to people. Live performances. Alam mo, masisipag ang mga production managers namin, but it would really help for us to have more training, no? Or guidance from sa mga biyasang katulad mo, no? Allie is a seasoned, no? She's been the production manager in performances outside the country, no? Sa Asia. Could you name saan kayo nagpunta?
I did performances for Ballet Philippines ng West Coast, Canada, and then we did 5-city Middle East tour.
Iba-iba pang challenges ang mape-present, no?
Yes,
sa ibang
of
bansa.
course. And then
hindi tulad ng nasa loob ka lang ng theater.
And then nung time ko, we don't have the luxury of doing oculars. So coordinating it in
mahal ata mag-ocular sa ibang bansa.
Of course, when you do ocular, you need to fly in ahead of everyone before
and ingress and egress.
Ingress and egress.
Siyempre yung suppliers doon, hindi naman natin kilala.
Yes, and then plus the language barrier.
So
and
what
then
languages do you speak now?
Still English. Theater language.
Sa sign language kapag ibang sa China. Di ba nag-tour kayo sa China?
Yes, we did 3-city in one-stop 3-city na China. And then it's really challenging kasi of course we need an interpreter, and the interpreter interprets parang iniintindi niya muna bago i-interpret. And of course we have like theater terms na hindi niya dapat itatranslate lang niya, dapat hindi niya i-interpret muna. Direct translation dapat. Pero ayun.
To simply put it, troubleshooter. No?
Yeah.
Troubleshooter, magsosolve talaga kayo ng maraming problema kasi
Yes.
you want to ease problems from the performers. No? Alisin sa kanila yung concern. Ikaw ang umako at ikaw ang mag-ayos para yung nakikita ng tao, na directly nakikita ng tao, hindi maapektuhan. So, you really cushion every situation.
Yes.
No?
So basically, a production manager just really needs to know how to think ahead.
Malalim na usapin po to. Sayang,
Yes.
isang oras lang tayo. We would really love to have Allie again in the near future. Pero kung naging interesado kayo sa topic natin, just leave a message sa Radyo Katipunan 87.9 Facebook page. Sasagutin ko na lang personally kung saan nyo siya, or anong seminars, anong workshops ang available for this. It's an interesting career to pursue. Whether you're a performer or not, kailangan mong matutunang saluhin ang sitwasyon if you want to be in the production circle. No? So, I'd like to thank Miss Allie Eguia.
Thank you, Dave.
Maraming salamat po. Next week, please abangan nyo yung episode on technical sound recording. Live, to be very specific, kasi ang studio would always laging masasalba yung sitwasyon sa studio no? Pero sa maraming elements sa live recording ang hindi natin aasahan na pwedeng mangyari, and we'll have someone expert on this matter para sa mga again nasa sound field. Our guest next week is the official parang sound engineer of some of the biggest symphony orchestras here in the country. Yung mga theater musicals, he makes sure na magagandang he comes up with really good qualities of documentation, audio documentation to sync in videos. So malawak na usapin dun po to. Maraming salamat. Ito po si Jay Gomez para sa programang Dati Akong Paraluman, Radyo Katipunan 87.9. This is the second episode. Thank you very much for listening. Magpapatugtog po kami ng isang I would like to leave you with music from Matin's Christmas again, kasi pag ngayong October talagang gusto namin i-promote ang album na to, which was done in 2001, no? Orchestral chamber orchestra Christmas album ng Jesuit Music Ministry. Thank you very much. Until next week.
Maganda ang mga salita. Tulain ang indak. Sumayaw sa himig. Awitin ang diwa. Dati akong paraluman. Ang programa ukol sa mga ulat sa komunidad ng sining at kultura. Magtanong, magmungkahi, at makibahagi. Dito lamang sa Dati Akong Paraluman. Tuwing Lunes, alas 3 ng hapon. Dati Akong Paraluman. Sa Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM.